Righty, it's a beautiful cold day in Bend, Oregon, but we're gonna get a nice warm up in before a little trail run, slightly above average effort on a moderate run here. If it was like a normal easy run day, I wouldn't bother doing a long warm up or much of anything other than maybe some dynamic stretches. But this is kind of a rundown of a laundry list of items you could throw in a warm up. The main goal here in our warm-up is to just try to get our body up to speed, up to the intensity of what we're about to do. It's also a good time to practice some movement drills, although there's nothing more specific than running itself. So those will always, be a lower priority than just running specific movement, but it's a good way to get ourselves moving and getting the joints through the full range of motion before we get into any serious movement. It also kind of gives us a daily sense of how to, move our body in an athletic way. And it's really important to kind of have that frequency, at least every other day or every several days, just for the sake of getting the nervous system firing and motor patterns moving, so that we can stay fresh and so that we can feel athletic. So that's the goal here. Just follow along. If you are doing this before a workout, feel free to take out however many moves you want. It doesn't have to be a super long thing. Usually I'll do this after a 5 to 10 minute, maybe 15-minute easy jog. And then I'll get into more and more intense things. Maybe if it's a really fast, hard day, I'll do a longer, more intense warm-up, somewhere between 10, 15 minutes at most. If it's an easier day, I might just do some easier mobility, and then some of these skips and drills, and then call it a day and start getting into the meat of the workout. But let's check this video out and then do what you need to do for yourself. we're good and warm, ready to take on the snow and ice. That's just an example. There's a billion different ways to warm up, but the main goals here are trying to, like I said, ramp your body up to that intensity. I generally follow a protocol that's called the ramp protocol, R-A-M-P. So you're trying to raise your heart rate. You can do that by any means, 5-10 minutes easy jog. Some people do 1 to 2 miles. Then after R is trying to activate the associated muscles that you're going to use. For running, I mean, it's mainly you're just trying to get your quads, hamstrings, calves, glutes, things like that. Those are the biggest muscle groups you're going to be using. If it wasn't wet and cold, I'd be doing maybe more on the ground, doing some kind of glute bridges, hip mobility, different kinds of hip rotation stuff. I might do a little like mini like core routine, and what I mean is just like maybe some like easy dead bugs or side planks, other things like that. Not that I really need it to have to be able to do a good run, but it's just kind of good to get your body in this regular rhythm of doing things like that that are regularly using your muscles, not fatiguing them, but getting them up to intensity. And then we're trying to do RAM. You're trying to mobilize now those muscles and major muscle groups you just used or plan to be using. So a lot of these dynamic drills kind of hit that. You're trying to get big ranges of movement in an exaggerative style of the muscles you're gonna be using. Largely, again, that's ankles, knees, hips for running. I try to get a lot of thoracic rotation through the spine. Running is very much a rotational movement. So those are kind of the big target areas. Loose with the shoulders, scabs. Sometimes if we're running for miles on end, we get a lot of shoulder tightness. Then you got RAM. We're talking about ramp, R-A-M-P. P is potentiate. This is probably the most important step prior to doing a hard workout. Potentiate just means trying to get your body up to that like same threshold of intensity of the workout you're going to do, or maybe slightly above it, but in a non-fatiguing way. So I mean, if it was a sprinter, we'd be having them do accelerations at their like top end sprint speed. But for like longer distance stuff, marathon runners, just some easy strides and some powerful skips goes a long ways after all the other warm-up protocol to just make you a more efficient aerobic runner. Sometimes we are trying to do things that are potentiating the stretch reflex, so powerful skips, faster strides, maybe not top end speed, but definitely getting that slightly faster, longer, powerful stride just to remind the body how to run economically efficient. So that's the potentiate side of things. I could go down a rabbit hole with that, but for now, this will be good. Do something like this before every hard workout. And again, if you're feeling, it's a good time to test your body. If you're feeling drained from something, or you'll know once you get in the rhythm of doing this warm up, which is hard. It should be getting you breathing. It should be getting you, everything warm and sweaty. But you'll know after doing this weeks on end that you'll feel off. Maybe if you're super tired, and you might feel super sore doing certain movements, and maybe that's a good day to just take a recovery day or easier and push the harder workout 1 or 2 more days there. So right on.